the flip side, I am coming at you this week with a Q&A. It has been over a year and a half since I've done a Q&A, so I thought it was about time. I asked for questions on Twitter and on Instagram, and you guys asked a million questions. There were some great questions, lots to answer. It makes me feel like I need to do one of these like every month to be able to answer all the questions that you guys asked. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with some of the ones that you guys wanted to know. The first question is from Allie04, and she asks, how do you get Gaines to calm down for bed? That is a good question, because a lot of times we are running around crazy right before bed trying to get that last minute energy out, and I think it's probably something that started way back from the very beginning. We've always followed a very specific routine with her at bedtime. I think routine at bedtime is very important, even if it's just like a little small routine. So when we go in her room at night, we go upstairs, she goes to the potty, and then she brushes her teeth, and then we go into her room. She either gets her pajamas on if she doesn't have them on yet. We sit down in the chair, read a couple books. Then her routine has gotten extended over the past several months as she's added different things. But then I sit her up on her bed and sing a couple songs to her. Right now her favorites are Jesus Loves Me, Jesus Loves Little Children, and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We sing those, get her in bed, turn her little music box on, and I walk out. So aside from what's been going on before bed, those things really have helped to calm her down, knowing this is the routine, this is exactly what's going to happen, and I know exactly these things, and then I'm going to get in bed and go to sleep. But we do try, as it's getting close to bedtime, to turn off some lights in the house, kind of like dim the mood, not do anything too crazy. Sometimes we're crazy and running around before bed, but the routine definitely helps a lot. The next question is from Malia000, and she asks, how many plane rides has Gaines been on? That is a great question, and I had to sit down and calculate. I'm pretty sure, I could be missing something, but I'm pretty sure she's been on 24 different planes. That's a lot of planes, and she's not even 2.5 yet. That's a total of 6 different trips across the country to different places. The girl has done a lot of traveling in her life. The next question is from Meredith F. Harris, and she asks, what have you learned about loving yourself postpartum? Signed, struggling with my postpartum body is what she's saying she's having a hard time with. And I don't have a really fabulous answer to that. I do not love my postpartum body either. I know for a lot of people, breastfeeding like significantly helps you lose weight, and I had people tell me before I had kids like, oh, just breastfeed all the time and it'll just melt right off. That was great for the first couple of months, and it actually, like, I didn't gain much weight with either kid. With Gaines I gained 15 pounds, and with Brooks I gained 11 pounds. Something about being pregnant is like the one time I do not gain weight. I gained most of it towards the end. I don't think I gained any weight until like 20 or 25 weeks. If I could just be pregnant all the time, I would stay skinny, which is kind of contradictory. But I don't ever gain a whole lot of weight, and then as soon as I had them, with both of them, I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight within a week of having a baby, which was amazing. I was like, wow, that was easy. And then, you know, the next few weeks, it would I would go a little bit below my pre-pregnancy weight, and then it stayed off for like the first 2 months. Then all of a sudden, right around each of them turning 2 months, I was like, okay, well, I've gained a few pounds back. Maybe it was just Christmas, maybe I ate too much this past week, and so I kind of try to watch it. And with both of them, I like have gone back up to my pregnancy weight within the few months, you know, by like them being 4 or 5 months old, which blows my mind. And I haven't changed anything. It's not that we have the absolute most healthiest eating habits in the world, but it's not like we're eating complete crap all the time. And I haven't changed anything from what I was eating, you know, those first 2 months. So I don't know. For me, I have gained weight while breastfeeding, and that has been really difficult. It's always hard feeling like you just had a baby, you look like crap, you know, I don't know. It's something that I struggle with a lot, and I really hate it, and I hate that none of my clothes fit right, and I hate that even when I'll, you know, go on a kick of like, okay, I'm gonna eat really healthy and try to do really good, and it still doesn't make a difference. So I don't love my postpartum body either. I feel you with that. I read an article while I was pregnant, and I'll see if I can find it and link it below, about just being comfortable with yourself and I guess not necessarily that you have to love your body, but loving your situation, loving your kids, loving your family, and caring more about that than what you look like. So that's something that I've really tried to go with. I think the article is specifically related to going out to the beach and going swimming with your kids and doing all the outdoor activities that require bathing suits or shorts or whatever it may be, and just remembering that your kids aren't going to look back and go, dang, mom was so fat when she was out at the pool with us. I mean, if they do, whatever, but they're gonna remember that you were out there with them, you know, tossing them around in the pool, or you went to the zoo with them even though it was hot and you were wearing a tank top and your back fat was all showing and your fat arms were hanging out, you know. So I've tried to kind of tell myself that it's more important for me right now to focus on the fact that I want to love my kids with all I have, give them as many experiences as I can, and just be with them as much as possible, and not let the fact that I'm not comfortable with what I look like get in the way of that. Also want to set a good body example too. So I try not to complain about my weight in front of Gaines. I try not to, like, you know, inspect my fat rolls in the mirror when I'm with her, because I don't want her thinking about herself that way. So that's kind of how I deal with it. It's a little bit of a touchy subject, but you know, I just do what I can, and I know that once I'm done breastfeeding, I don't know, I could be pregnant again, who knows at that point, but I will have time to kind of get back to myself. A lot of times it's hard while you're in the moment of having kids, raising kids, little babies, and all of those things, to kind of focus on yourself. So it is a goal eventually to get back to my regular former self. The next one is from Peyton the Awesome Kid, and the question is, hard or soft taco shells? Always soft taco shells, never hard taco shells by themselves. Sometimes I'll do the hard taco with a little cheese in between, and then the soft taco on the outside. Never hard by themselves. They crumble and make a mess, and I can't even handle that. So there you go. There were several questions that were asked a million times by everybody. So the burning questions that you guys wanted to know the most, there were two that were asked quite a lot. So the first one is, what are you looking for in a new house? What features do you want? Some major things that we're looking for. One is a backyard that's straight out our back door. In our house we're in now, you have to go downstairs off the deck to get into the backyard. And with little kids, that's just kind of difficult, and the backyard doesn't get used as much as it should because we always have to be with them. Gaines is always wanting to just walk outside, and she'll go play on the deck by herself while we're right there in the kitchen, but she can't just go down the stairs and play in the yard by herself without us watching. I mean, she could, but she doesn't really want to. So definitely easier access to the backyard. Also, main level garage. Right now, our garage does not walk right into our kitchen. We do have to go up some stairs, and it's not been that big of a deal, but it sure as heck would be a lot easier with two kids and two arms full of groceries to be able to just walk right into the kitchen or to whatever place in the main level of the house. We definitely want open concept. Our house right now is fairly open concept as far as the kitchen looking into the den. So I like that I can be in the kitchen, still kind of see the kids playing in the den and see the TV and everything. But it's not completely open. I really like the idea of things being open. I definitely want to be able to see the kids playing from where I'm cooking. A big thing would be having a designated playroom or play area for the kids. Right now there's toys everywhere, and our office has kind of gotten overtaken with toys and turned into a playroom. So really want to make sure that we have room for all the kids' toys and a place where they can play without feeling like they're all up in our business in the middle of everything, or if they leave a mess out, that it's like right in the middle of the walkway. A number of people also asked about number of bedrooms. Ideally, I would love to have 5 bedrooms. I think that would be great because if we're gonna use one of them as an office or a filming area or something like that, that would be fabulous, to make sure that the kids each have a room, we have a room, and then for us to have a room for guests, which kind of leads to like, well, how many kids do you want to have? I'll get to that. But just want to leave options in case we have a lot of kids or something, so they can all have room. And the number one question that was asked by all of you who want to know, how many kids do we want to have? When do we want to have more kids? And do we want a boy or a girl if we have more kids? Yes, we would love to have more kids. Always kind of said that we wanted 3. So we have 2 now, obviously, and that would just be 1 more. And something in myself in the past few months for whatever reason has started to feel like I don't know if I'll be done after 3. Granted, I don't know. That's something we'll kind of make the decision as it goes. We definitely do want to try to have one more. Of course, it's always a very touchy subject and a very scary subject that I usually start crying about when I'm talking about, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. But we have had 2 previous miscarriages before Gaines, and then struggled a little bit in between those, trying to get pregnant again, just kind of with my body recovering and everything. It took some time. So we would love to have at least one more child, and we are just always a little bit scared of that, but we're gonna go into it with a great attitude, and hopefully things will be okay. I've heard a lot of people say after you have what you think is your final baby, you will know one way or the other whether like, okay, I'm done. Like, I feel like I'm done for sure, or you'll be like, oh, this can't be my last one. I'm just not done. So we'll see. The thought of 4 kids is kind of crazy. It's all of a sudden just happened in the past a little bit. Ever since I was little, I've always said I wanted to have 4 kids, but logically when Gaines was born, I was like, oh Lord, what was I thinking I want to have 4 kids? But now I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I might want 4 kids, so we'll see. Would we want a boy or a girl? Honestly, we have a girl, we have a boy. I really, to be completely honest, am not that particular about it. I would just love to be surprised. I don't know exactly what I would want. The one reason I would say I would want a girl is because, for one, Gaines had a lot of cute clothes that she could share, and 2, I really do want her to have a sister. I grew up with a sister, and it's just been a great bond that we've had, and it was great growing up with a sister and being able to grow up together, and we have, each other to talk to as we're older. She also does have girl cousins, though, that she's very close with. So, she would have somebody that's kind of like a sister if we did have another boy. I would love for Brooks to have a brother too. He's got some cute clothes too and fun stuff that he's used. So I would love for him to have a brother. Cullen never had a brother growing up. I never had a brother. I just think it would be cool for him to have a brother and for Gaines to have another brother too. And when do we want to have those next children? I don't know. With Gaines was 14 months old when we found out we were pregnant with Brooks, and we wouldn't have been upset if he had been conceived a little bit earlier than that. I keep telling myself I want to wait until Brooks is at least 2 to have another one, like to start trying for another kid, but also we're 30, how old am I? I'll be 34 in next month, and Cullen is already 34. God, that's so old, at least for having kids. And I know people have kids up to like 40 these days, but for one, if we want to have 2 more, and also if we don't know what's going to happen, how long it might take, what else we might go through, as far as any, please, no, but as far as any other struggles that we might have, it kind of makes me scared to wait too long. So I don't know. We'll definitely at least wait till he's 1. If the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise. I mean, I'm just saying, if anything happens between... Well, wasn't that perfect timing? The battery just died. Saved by the bell on that one. So that will be it. I guess that's as much as I want to say about that question, and I appreciate you guys sending in all the questions. I wish I could have answered all of them. There were so many questions. We'll have to do this again soon. You guys remind me if I forget that we need to do another Q&A. I really appreciate your questions. I appreciate y'all's interest and your support along the way. You guys are always so great and wonderful, and we're looking forward to sharing this continuing journey with you guys. There's so many exciting things with us looking for houses and getting ready to do all those big life changes. Leave a comment below on what you think the perfect number of kids is. Or if you don't care about kids, leave a comment below with what you think is the most important thing to have in a house that you're looking for. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!